Hello and welcome to BusyWorksBeats.com. Today we're going to make a J Dilla beat from scratch. We're going to do it in our own style, but influenced heavily by J Dilla. You guys will learn a lot of techniques used by J Dilla. We're going to do it from scratch. So firstly, we're going to set the BPM to something that's not quantized to a specific number. We're going to go to like 92.64 BPM. Okay, so back in the day, the drum machines were not perfectly quantized to like 93. Okay, the math was off a little bit. So let's grab a sample. Let's drag it into the playlist. I like to sample in the playlist. A huge thing J Dilla would do is loop at least 1 to 2 bars of a sample. So here I like 2 bars of the sample. So we need to count music. 1, 2, 3, 4. Doo. So the trick here is that the downbeat starts before, or excuse me, the melody starts before the downbeat. So let's count the music first. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 2, 2, 3, 4, and 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, and 6. Okay, so the downbeat is not the duh, it's the part after. So let's chop this into 2-bar increments. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 2, 2, 3, 4, and slice 2, 3, 4, and 2, 2, 3, 4, and slice 2, 3, 4, and 2, 2, 3, 4, and slice 2, 3, 4, and 2, 2, 3, 4, and slice 2, 3, 4, and 2, 2, 3, 4, and slice 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, and slice 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, and slice. Okay, so slicing that, most people would make the mistake of slicing like wherever the impact would happen, but that's not where the downbeat is. We're only going to use probably 4 of these chops. What we need to do is click in the top left, go to make unique a sample for each of these samples. That way they are considered their own file. That's important because we want to separate them from the entire track. Very important. Nextly, we're going to hit Shift Q to quantize the samples to the grid. Change your snap to grid to a bar mode. And what I like to do is just move stuff out the way. So if I'm slicing like this, I'll change every other one. Hit Shift down, hit Shift Q to quantize everything to the bar. Now what we need to do is line it up to the BPM. So here's where you turn the metronome on. Double click on the sample. Actually, before we do that, let's go to Tools, Macro, switch all audio clips to stretch mode. This will basically make sure that each sample gets time stretched to the BPM. Double click. It's already on stretch mode for us. Grab the time knob and lock it to the nearest bar. I learned that from In The Mix. This locks it to the nearest bar. Okay, let's do that for each sample. And anytime that metronome sounds off, we need to figure out why. Seems like the sample sped up a little bit. 1, 2. Okay, so this is more of an intro, so I really consider, oops. Darn, let me get the, okay, 9.9. Hold on, I gotta regain this here. Okay, so I consider our chops, let's see, 2, 4, we have about 6 chops plus an intro chop. So this is more of an intro chop to me. And then we're gonna use these 6. Now, the music is repetitive, so it feels the same. What we could do is repeat it over time. And then anytime we wanna change, a section of our song, we'll go to the other set of 2 samples. That way it's not the same thing playing every single time. Now, J Dilla just repeats the same loop most of the time. Okay, so let's just move this out the way for now. We're gonna mute the second half. We don't hear those, and then let's duplicate this first half. So we're gonna grab this, hit Shift up. Let me create a new track, so this is out the way. So the intro, and then we have the repeating loops. Okay, I'm gonna put you guys on some plugins you probably didn't know. Xenology FX has some of those Roland SP404 sounds, or excuse me, effects. Let's go to our channel rack. We need to send these sounds and samples to the mixer. Double click, hit Control L. In the mixer, we need to group the samples. Let's go to a new blank mixer insert. Let's type in sample. hit control, left click, right click, and route to this track only. So now all those sounds are going to this one channel. Okay, now we have the samples together. We could add Xenology FX. And in here we have things like the DJ FX looper. I'll show you guys how I would use it. Let's switch here to the looper mode. Let's go to DJ FX. Let's open up Edison. Where we at here? Edison. So we're going to record our performance into Edison. So we want to record, click the drop down, record on play. Let's hit stop twice on the master play head, hit record in Edison. And now I can go to this Xenology effect and basically hit loop anytime I want the sample to stutter. So let's turn the metronome on. Let's go back. Start new. Okay, so Edison is listening. Let's record on play. I forgot I have the metronome routed to channel 15. So let me fix that real quick. If you guys didn't know, you can route the metronome to a different channel. Okay, so let's just put it somewhere else for now. All right, so I'm pretty sure I recorded the metronome. Let's do that one more time. Okay, for the third time, let's do this. So I'm just adding these little glitches. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm just adding this for our own unique character. I'll let the sample breathe a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, loop. I don't know about that one. That was kind of sloppy, but we'll see. Okay, so now we have that. So we're treating it as if we're performing on an SP404. Hit stop, double click on where it says song jump, send audio to playlist. And now we can use, let's say we messed up on a certain part, we can always go back to the original and mute it. So let's mute the original for now until we don't like a certain part. I think the part I don't like is coming up soon. I want to say it's right here. Kind of visually see. Let's slice it out. There we go. So now we have the original in place of that one. To make it sound different, I'm going to do something different. Let's double click on that sample, go to pre-computed effects, turn up stereo delay. So now just this part will widen out. Okay, it just grabs the ear and pulls us back in. So little stuff like that to make it unique. Let's go to a different pattern. Let's go here to unsorted sounds here. Let's start finding our drums here. You guys will get the project file, so don't try to memorize all this. We got to find our J Dilla kit. Here we go, Lunch 77. Let's go to J Dilla. We just need to start with our snare first. So you want nice short snares because, okay, so it's a lot to teach you guys, but I would tell you guys to record manually, but we don't need to record snares manually. I'll show you guys how to make your drums feel like loose without needing to record everything by hand. The main thing we need to record by hand is the kick timing. So let's duplicate these snares. We're gonna go to the wrench tool, turn up time shift just a little bit on the snare, so it kind of emulates a little swing. We're gonna turn up the channel rack swing right here, the swing amount. And once we start adding hi-hats and kicks, this will be, you guys will hear that. Let's hit Control L. I think the snare needs to be shortened a little bit. Let's trim this and fade it out. Let's layer this with a clap. We're going to delay the clap. Go to the wrench tool, turn up time shift. Let's hit Control L. Okay, Okay, so now we have a snare clap combo. Let's find a kick. Now, J Dilla's kicks, you want 2 kicks. One that is like a filtered kick. The other one is going to be a normal kick. So this one's nice and good. So this would be a filtered kick where it's very muffled. And then we need a kick that's a little brighter, like this one. Now here's where I recommend you record this. So I'm going to show you guys a technique. Go to pattern, just a blank pattern here. Say pattern 2. Loop it for 2 bars. Zoom in. Let's go up top here where it says loop recording. Hit record. Make sure you right click here. Make sure you're recording notes. And okay, hit record. So now I'm going to go to my kick. Okay, and record 1 kick at a time, but we're going to record both. Now, J Dilla loved the like kick right before the snare, like do ka do ka. So let's turn up the swing a little bit. Now we are going to record the second kick, and then we're going to remove some of the takes from that first kick. Okay, so now we're just gonna figure out which kick sounds better in which spot. Again, gonna get rid of some of these double click, but the key to the sound is the double kick. This other kick's a little bigger than in context. Let's find a smoother kick. Fade this out. So we just want short samples. We could also go to the wrench tool, go to humanize, add a little velocity variation here. I'm going to go to the graph editor. I'm going to turn down, anytime we have a double kick, I'm going to turn down the kick before it. So it goes like boom. Let's try the other way just to see something. Never mind. Let's do it the other way. I feel like we lost the energy, so let's. Let's add these hi-hats. Okay, we're gonna use 2 different hi-hats here. It's gonna be really simple with the hi-hats. Just alternate between the 2, hit Control L. So it's just ta, 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 alternating. We're probably gonna go to the wrench tool to add time offset. Let's go to each hi-hat. Get these levels right. Second hi-hat is way too hard. Let's add a little attack here, it's just a little too aggressive. So I'm adding that time shift. Make sure those hi-hats kind of fit in the groove. So now we need to add the bass. Let's add 3x OSC. We just need a simple sine wave bass or triangle. Turn oscillator 2 and 3 down, go to the settings, go to the wrench tool, turn on monophonic and portamento. Take Control L. Right click your typing keyboard. Let's pull this to a lower octave like C2 or C3 and just play a little. Okay, so let me record it. Let's fix that high note. start adding that time shift to the individual sounds. Now you can feel that groove. Because the sample changes root notes so much, I'm going to go in and change out the bass root notes just so it matches the sample. I'm raising the bass up an octave so that we can hear the tone, and then I'm going to change these root notes out. So, dun, 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 bum. Let's figure out that note. Oops, wrong sample. Bum. Alright, so this would be A flat or B flat. This is where music theory and just using your ear and not copy and pasting. So as you guys can hear, the sample's changing over time, so we need to match that music. So here we're gonna group this. So it's gonna take the time to listen to these. Let's hit Control G to group. Alright, so as you guys can hear, it's very important to go through and make sure that bass is following the music, or else it just sounds out of key. Let's add some spice to this. Let's pull our sample more mono, and let's have our hi-hats pan left and right. The hi-hats can be the stereo width. Let's add more transients to the second hi-hat. Just add some time delay. To add some like final touches to this beat, let's add some acapella type stuff, and let's see if we could add some kind of sound effects in here. We can also add a low pass filter or some kind of filtering or downsampling to the sample over time. So let's do that. Let's downsample. Let's add kilohertz bit crush. Let's lower to about 20 kilohertz sample. And then let's turn the bits to 12. And then turn up the quality. And automate this with right click, create an automation clip. So let's do 1, 2, 3, 4. It's hard to count time because we didn't start on the downbeat. Or start on the first bar. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So right here we're gonna hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're gonna turn that filter on. I'm gonna lower the sample rate. This will add like a muffled sound. So now the sample is downsampled. This is how you get that like J Dilla mysterious sound. Let's see if we can add some more effects to make the sample more unique sounding. I'm going to try to EQ the sample too because I don't want the bass to clash. But we might lose the life out of the sample, but let's just see. So still good. in the bass octave. Let's see what else Xenology has. I haven't really gone through this plugin, but let's try some modulation effects, maybe some chorus effects. Yeah, this is the J Dilla effect right here. The Hexa chorus, it sounds... I didn't know Xenology had effects like this. This is fire. The drums just need a little more texture on them. Let's group these drums. We'll see what we could do here. Let's highlight the drums, hit control, highlight these, right click, route to this track only. So the drums are going to one channel here. Now I'm going to process the drums. So I'm going to run my drums through some texture here. I kind of like this tape sound here. Sounds kind of dope. Normally I wouldn't like that sound, but this fits perfectly for this vibe. Curious what the bass would sound like through this too. Let's see some. Alright, so I'm gonna run it through the MPC sound. I like that sound. It does clip here and there, but it sounds pretty cool. Now that MPC 3000 weight on that is crazy. It is a little heavy-handed for this beat, but it sounds crazy. I also like the tape recorder one. Let's print this to audio. This may take a little bit, so let's print. All right, it took a little bit of time. I don't know why I rendered way over here, but that's a little weird. FL's been acting weird, y'all. Anyhow, let's turn off that Genome plugin, but Genome is a super dope plugin. Now you have to grab those, and there's .NAM profiles off of other companies. They don't come with that plugin. Okay, so now I need to make sure the drums are lined up right. Okay, so now the drums, well, at least the kick and the hi-hat are now on their own. Let's try something here. Let's make the drum stutter. So when the sample goes dun 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 dun, let's see if we can stutter the drums here so that the rhythm matches. So let's slice, change the snap to grid to a beat, and let's repeat this. This may or may not sound good, but let's try it. Let's hit control. Whoops. Let's do this again. All right, let's zoom in. All right, so let's highlight this. Hit Control B to latch paste. Feel like it could be a better stutter. Like right here, I want like double hit. Let's do this. Boom. A little heavy-handed. Let's just leave it the way it was. Okay, so another thing J Dilla would do is like mute. So I'm gonna mute right here. And then bring in the next hit. You could also mute the sample. In this case, you could slice the sample. Like right here. Alright, let's just add our ear candy type stuff to this. Sound effects, different things. So now we're just finalizing the beat. Here's where we could add a lot of vocal chants in the background. So I'm let's see if I can find some samples with some vocals in it. All right, I'm just gonna turn off the drums though, so that we don't get too. Now for the vocal, we don't really need any particular thing. What I'll do is I'll load this up in Fruity Slicer. Let's just open up in Slice. Actually, I said Fruity Slicer. I meant, let's see, which one would be cooler? I guess Slice would be cooler. And we're gonna do auto slicing. There's no rhyme or reason. If anything, actually, let me see how long these chops are. Because depending on how long the chops are, how big they are. All right, they're too short. I was gonna say, let's load it up in Slicer. Actually, I don't think we need to do that though. Let's slice by the beat. I think we could do that here. Let's detect the beat. That might be easier. Now I can right click, go to Slice X C4, and now I can play with my typing key. This might be too short.
Operation B surface. and in detail. On the move.
So now I'm just gonna add this like passing little vocal effect in here. Just randomly. There's no rhyme or reason to it. It's just random. Whatever sounds good. And now we can get crazy with that sound effect by adding delay and reverb and different chorusing. Okay, so all this little background texture is what adds that vibe. Now I'm opening up the stereo field so it's not as narrow. We could also sidechain the kick to the sample. Let's add a little reverb to the snares here, just like a tiny bit. Let's just add, I think I have kickstart. Let's just add this to the sample. Let me pause the video, y'all. I forget where my license is for this thing. All right, luckily it wasn't hard to find. So now we're just adding a little side chain. So now the downbeats. So now it feels like the kick is side chained in the sample, even though it's not. Now we can automate this so it doesn't just do it all the way through. That way it's like, I kind of want to shorten that clap and snare a little bit. Let's see if we can add any other sounds from my Prophet or the Korg. All right, so I had to tweak it a little bit with the sound. Now became the textured more towards the end. When I started detuning the sound. Okay, so now we can send that to the sample group or just leave it as is. So I'm blending the sound into the sample as if it comes from the sample. That way when it's sidechained, it feels like it's from the actual song. Alright, so I like both of those takes. That was pretty cool. Let's send that through track. I think at 15 is the sample. So I'm going to stop adding stuff, but that's how I would start compiling now, is just sending everything through the sample track as if it's from the actual record. There's some parts I messed up on, but I'll just chop out the part I don't want. Tuck this really low. To make it spread a little bit more, let's double click. Let's go to the pre-computed effects, turn up stereo delay, make it a little bit wider. really downsampled, you can't really hear it on the second half. Now, I usually take more time to think more chords out, but that sounded pretty cool. Let's just keep that. And again, we're gonna route it to the sample track. Just tuck it in the background. Thing I would love to have in here is a guitar riff. I forget which track it is, so I have to go through these tracks to figure out which one. But one of these has really cool guitar in it. I just forgot to write it down. I'm gonna add it as like, see if we can. No, it's not the Jackson 5 one. I may or may not be able to find this, so. I think these samples are going through, yeah, 15. Very interesting. All right, so I'm going to quickly kind of skim through. It's not Run DMC. Darn, I should have wrote it down. No, it's not James Brown. All right. So if I can't find it, it is what it is. I would like to have like guitar. Darn it, what folder was that? Maybe it wasn't this folder. Alright, I don't want to waste time, but like little guitar riffs would be dope for this. some delay to that guitar. I've noticed like Jay Dilla delays are very fast, like ding 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 instead of ding ding ding. It's like ding 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 like that. I'm also going to try mono delay so that it's very like rhythmic. All right, let's just copy this and change a little something about the second half. My bad, y'all. I had some MIDI in there. I didn't realize I recorded, so I had to edit that out. Even though this beat could get way louder, I feel like it's too loud already. All right, so you got the sauce. You guys can get these project files for free. Just go to busyworksbeats.com/FL Studio. I want to thank you guys for watching. Subscribe if you're new. Like this video, share with a friend. And if you want to learn how to make beats like the pros, join now for free at busyworksbeats.com/premium. And look for the Black Box bundle if you guys want to grab everything for the end of the year Black Box bundle. Just go to busyworksbeats.com/premium. And you can grab over 68 music production courses all in one. along with our plugins and sound packs. All right, guys, peace out.